Welcome to MBC News. I'm Dooza Dragonash, your news anchor, and here is our fab team, Malburn's writer and Sigmund Leominster. Hi, guys.
Good evening, Dooza, and good evening, viewers.
And good evening, everybody. Unless you're in London, in which case you're feeling the heat.
It's not a particularly good evening for most people in London, as a number of Second Life residents keep a very wary eye on what's happening and keep a packed bag by the door. Buildings are being burned down all around us by a small number of young people creating havoc. The feeling around the capital and the UK is that the piper will have to be paid, but what sort of life allows these kids to follow the piper is the overwhelming question in most minds.
Many Second Life businesses use the social network LinkedIn for marketing and relationships. And unlike Facebook, LinkedIn does not appear to be bothered by people signing on as their avatars. And the good news for those people is that it's currently unlikely to be following the downward spiral of MySpace. The just-released quarterly figures show that the company has beaten analysts' expectations, with revenue growing 120% to $121 million from $55 million a year ago. And it's posted a profit of $4.5 million, or 4 cents a share, and that's compared with $4.3 million the year earlier. So this is all good news for investors and for Second Life businesses.
So is the example of MySpace, is that going to be the forerunner for Facebook, Google, et al.?
It's hard to say because, of course, at one time MySpace was the it place to be.
Precisely.
And nobody was actually predicting that anything would happen there. But then Facebook took over, and now we have the new Google system, which will do. And I keep going back to the same thing. There are 24 hours in the day. There are 7 days a week, and there's only so much networking you can do. Either things get spread around or people shut up shop. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn has an advantage because it's pretty much led the business-orientated networks. Facebook is very public. Unfortunately, LinkedIn is a lot more public now, but over time you couldn't even get in there without so many recommendations to get into the club, so to speak. And I think that, their whole pitch is to businesses and commerce and things like that. They appear at a lot of trade shows selling their service and everything. And it's a very different base market from Facebook, Google and the rest, I think. But you can't tell. Future's the future, really. Okay, well, a question asked by many Second Life product creators is, how much does content theft cost? Well, in the real world, if you're the Lime Group, owners of the file-sharing software LimeWire, it's about $12 million USA every 3 months. The media company Warner Music Group has just taken the first check as part of $105 million US settlement following the suing of LimeWire by a number of music companies in 2006. The plaintiffs claimed that the Lime Group was responsible for the distribution of over $1 billion US of copyrighted material. The $105 million settlement may sound steep, but is considerably less than what the Recording Industry Association of America, or RIAA, actually wanted. They claim they intended to sue for $75 trillion USA, which is actually greater than the gross domestic product of the entire global economy. So they might as well just ask for a bajillion gazillion dollars. And I don't even know what that is.
A new study by Visa's PlaySpan and VG Market Study Group reveals that 1 out of every 3 online gamers is spending real money on virtual goods. On average, females spend $111 versus $74 for males in multiplayer online games, which would include Second Life. The study also found that about 37% of women are likely to buy a virtual item to decorate a page, persona or avatar, whereas only 19% of men spend money on those things. Now, this is quite interesting to me. When I first came into Second Life, I used to get a lot of presents, and then I found out they were all freebies. You do notice, ladies and gentlemen, that these two gentlemen alongside me here are remaining very quiet.
I wonder about this because when I first came to Second Life, I didn't buy anything. I mean,
well, there you go.
I didn't have any money really. I mean, I just relied on freebies and stuff. And then when I started earning money, I buy things. But often I go on hunts and things because I can get good quality stuff, and it's kind of fun too if I've got time. But I think it may actually also have a lot to do with the kind of things the sexes buy. I mean, this isn't absolute, of course, but I mean, women do like buying dresses and dressing up probably a lot more, things like that, a lot more than men do. And those virtual commodities do tend to command a higher value. Men are more likely to be buying motorcycles or something to play with in world. And, none of it's cheap, but I just suspect that the things that attract women probably command the greatest value.
And Sigmund, what do you play with in world?
Well, I have to admit, I do in fact have a motorcycle, but I'm probably one of the 90% of the men who spends money on my avatar. And I do admit to enjoying drifting around the fashion places and buying new stuff. So I have a wardrobe that's probably the equal to many women's wardrobes. But hey, that's the way I play the game. So.
And of course, many men are many women.
Which just confuses the issue completely.
So take it away, Sigmund.
Well, a story that was doing the rounds last week about research suggesting that users of Microsoft's Internet Explorer web browser are less intelligent than users of others turns out to be a hoax. Now, the BBC, who were one of the first media companies to fall for the hoax, actually did a good job by investigating the story in more detail afterwards, and then discovered that the research company who turned out the report, called Apticant, was not exactly kosher. And in fact, their website turns out to have been created in the past month, and it was actually a knockoff of another company's site. Now, of course, those of us who actually do use Mozilla Firefox don't need research to tell us how smart we are.
Yeah, hoax or not, I think there's a lot of truth in it.
In other words, if you're using Internet Explorer, question your choices. Some events, Beaver Ridge episode 2 went out this week, and it's created a little bit of a stir around the place. So I think if you haven't caught it yet, you better had. And Styling Forward is starting again, with Camara Madison and Frolic Mills in the judge's seat, and myself and my esteemed colleague, Editorial Clarity, presumably in a guise that you've never seen before. So watch that live on Wednesdays for the next few weeks. And anything else to add, gentlemen, that's coming up around you?
I think we should not forget to mention that this coming weekend is the Second Life Community Convention in Oakland, California. But there are several sims called SLCC 1, 2, 3, etc. in world where you can attend. And I think we will be also helping broadcast various events via the web. They do have a selection of Ustream channels available for their different rooms, and hopefully we'll be putting all those together into one stream.
Yes, and applications are being encouraged for the 48-hour film project, which if you're wondering which city it is to sign up for Machinima. So if you go to the website on 48-hour film project, you can get all the details there, but follow the routes for Machinima if that's what you want to do. Of course, you might want to do real life film in the cities that you are in already. So say goodbye.
Goodbye. We'll see you all next week.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or indeed good tomorrow, depending on wherever and whenever you are. And if I haven't burnt down, I will be here next week.
And our commiserations to those who have. And stay safe, everybody, from MBC News.